2K Games have gone underground after the release of Mafia 3 since 2017, and it seems like the team is now finally back with some really impressive updates with their upcoming AAA project, the Mafia 4. Now guys, in this video we have some really interesting leaks on the upcoming open world AAA title, the Mafia 4, featuring some of the character customizations, new vehicles and vehicle customization, business and mobs that players will now be able to run in the game, and also a leak on the Mafia online game mode, which is possibly going to be releasing next year on the next generation consoles. So make sure you guys watch the video till the end, because there are some really juicy information on the Mafia 4 character customization especially, so you guys surely don't want to be missing out on that one. Now recently, a few days back on the linked IN website, there was a job offering posted by Hangar 13 for a narrative director to create best-in-class stories, characters and content for a current project that they are currently working on. Now, the interesting fact about all of this is that they're not just looking for any narrative directors, but for those guys who have experience with complex narratives, player-driven dialogue choices, and intervened side plots. And in addition to that, they've also mentioned that the candidate must work on an ongoing seasonal content that will be added post-release for what's undoubtedly going to be Mafia 4 at this point. Now recently on Reddit, there was this user who has been linking a lot of information about the Mafia 4, and there are plenty of rumors at this point that is also stating that Mafia 4 has been surfaced to be in works. Now, Take-Two Interactive, who are the parent company of 2K Games, have registered several trademarks in relation to the franchise back in August of 2019. And one of them was highly speculated to be Mafia 4, while the other one was surely for Mafia 2 remastered version. Now, the Reddit user we spoke of highly a couple of seconds ago claims to have some kind of an insider from Hangar 13, who are supposedly two developers that had worked on previous Mafia games, and for whatever reason, they don't work with Hangar 13 anymore. And my guess in this is that they snitched on their former company by leaking out games, due to which they got fired from the job. But luckily, getting fired hasn't stopped these two young men even a bit, because they are back with some very interesting leaks on what Hangar 13 is currently working on, which of course the developers who snitched on the company claim that 2K Games are going to be announcing Mafia 4 in the early of 2020, which I believe might most probably be when PlayStation 5 is getting announced this February of 2020, and I'm pretty sure that Sony is going to be showcasing some of the upcoming games for their next generation of consoles, which I think has the highest of likable chances that we might get to see a teaser or even a trailer if you're lucky for Mafia 4 on the PS5. Now guys, this is just the basic leaks that we have got so far, but we haven't really yet moved on to the gameplay details that have been leaked, which I'm pretty sure will make you guys more than excited than you currently are for the next Mafia game. Now, the same Reddit user has also leaked some gameplay details on the Mafia 4. Now, the first and most important thing of all is the setting of the game, which the leaker claims that the game will be set in Las Vegas during the time period of 1970s, which was to be considered as the golden age of organized crime back in the days. Now, we all have to agree to this that Las Vegas during the time period of 1970s would be the perfect setting for the next Mafia game, especially with the commencement of casino and the era when the mobs took over the city and the Hollywood industry was starting to grow over. So I personally think that Las Vegas would be the perfect setting for the next Mafia game, since it is set especially in the 1970s. Now guys, according to the leaks here, Mafia 4 will have a very heavy character customization. Now by character customization, I don't mean creating your own characters or whatever, but the outfits, beard styles, and hairstyle, makeup, and much more other kind of stuffs. Now the insider here has also stated that the game is surfaced to be having a character outfit and cosmetic customization that is inspired from GTA Online, where we will be getting to see some similar kinds of clothing store and much more in the game that we as a players will be able to interact, visit, and dress up our protagonist the way we like to roll. Now, I don't know if you guys have played the old school Mafia games, the Mafia 1 and 2, which already had all these features and details in the game, but in the last Mafia game, the Mafia 3, which I consider as one of the worst games ever made. The story might have been okay-ish, but Mafia 3 doesn't even stand as a competitor to its predecessors, the Mafia 1 and 2, which I believe was a better game than the final sequel we had in the series. Now, it seems like Hangar 13 has learned their lesson the hard way, that making a game as lazy as Mafia 3 is going to cause massive backlash to their reputation, because Mafia 3 absolutely had no efforts added in with any of the missions and gameplays. The game was literally a copy-paste of the same gameplay aspect from the start till the end of the game, which I absolutely hated the most, but I know that there will always be some supporters who actually do enjoy the game, and there is nothing wrong in enjoying it. I'm just saying that after experiencing Mafia 1 and 2 and what the game had to deliver, I just wasn't able to enjoy Mafia 3 as much as I did with the previous games. And now I'm really happy to see that Hangar 13 seems to have realized their problem, and they are now working on making Mafia 4 a better game with much interactive world as well as new gameplay. Now that is not it, folks, because the developers that snitched on their former company have also reported that Mafia 4 will have a massively overhauled vehicles and vehicle customization. Now they have mentioned that we will be having a vehicle customization that is going to be pretty similar to what we saw in GTA 5 and Forza games, where we had a vast majority of customizable options available for our vehicles, from performance upgrade and facelifts. We will now get to see some really interesting features when it comes to vehicles in Mafia 4. Now we already had a really cool vehicle customizable feature in Mafia 4 that, to be honest, I personally loved at the most, and the game also offered a very realistic like driving physics and also customizable options for your vehicles that had been added back in Mafia 2. But Mafia 3 on the other hand absolutely had none of these options in the game, which again, like I said, is another reason to why I consider that the game doesn't even stand a chance against its previous titles. Now since we have vehicle customization and modifications in Mafia 4, it is said that Mafia 4 will be introducing motorbikes for the first time in the series. So far, none of the Mafia games have ever had a motorbike in the game, but since the game is set in Las Vegas in 1970s, I think the vintage motorbike would be the best option to stick with back in the days. Now the leaker also went on and said that we will be able to run business in Mafia 4. There will be multiple types of business that players will be able to run in the city, and in order to run those business, you will constantly have to recruit people to work for you in order to maximize your profits. But beware that you're not going to be the only one that will be running the business around Las Vegas, because there are also going to be other mobs that will be competing against your organization. So playing the story missions are not going to be the only gameplay aspect of the game, but now you will also be occupied with building your empires from nothing to being a kingpin in the city. Now building your empire is going to be affecting your gameplay and the world in a very massive way. Now let's say, for example, you're a really big kingpin that runs a very huge mob and owns almost all the casinos around the city, and since you're a big dog in the empire, people around the city will now start respecting you, or either hate you or even be scared of you, depending on the way that you built your empire and your reputation. Now the way that you build your reputation in the game will have different ways. You can either be a good guy or be a complete bad guy that people are scared of. So let's say that you're being a really bad guy and have a massive mob support and background, then the police in the world will also be scared of you to even attack you or pull you over or stop you for the crimes that you commit around the city. But if your reputation stays low in the game, then the police will not hesitate to pull you over for every single petty crimes that you try to commit around the world. So at the end of the day, the game is designed in a way where the players will get to play the game the way they want to play the game, and also build their character reputation the way they like to play the game. Now the former Hangar 13 developers who snitched on their company that stated that Mafia 4 will be an entirely new game that will have no backstory linked to the previous Mafia games. So that basically means that we will not be meeting or even hearing about any of the other Mafia characters that we got to play as before in the other Mafia games. So the story will have an entirely new take towards the series and will also continue the saga with the upcoming titles as well. So if you guys are expecting to see Vito or Joe or even Lincoln's story or characters to be appearing in Mafia 4, then the leakers state that it will not be happening, at least for now. Now guys, these are just the leaks that have been dropping around on the internet, and this is not the officially announced news or even the information coming from Hangar 13 or even 2K Games. So like the saying goes, always take these leaks to a pinch of salt, because these things could even turn out to be different from what the leaks have been stating. So I would definitely suggest you guys to keep your hopes really low, so in that case you won't get disappointed when the things you expected don't turn out to be true when the official announcement comes out. But for now, all we know is that Mafia 4 is said to be getting a reveal on early of 2020, which I highly suspect is going to be during the February PlayStation 5 reveal event, where Sony for sure will be showing off some of their next-gen games running on the next-gen consoles and also announce some of their upcoming projects that will be coming to the PlayStation 5. So if you ask me for the right time to announce Mafia 4, then I would totally go with the PlayStation 5 reveal event. So the best we can do for now is to wait till February and see if we get a teaser or even a trailer for the Mafia 4. And if 2K turns out to be a no-show on the PlayStation event, then the final guess would be on the June of 2020 during the E3 press conference next year. So folks, if you're looking forward to knowing more information and leaks on Mafia 4, then I will be covering everything related to the game on my YouTube channel. And most importantly, I will and have been covering every single update on CD Projekt Red Cyberpunk 2077. So if these games are something that you're interested in and are looking for a YouTube channel that covers these games, then feel free to subscribe to my channel and turn the video notifications on. So in that case, you will not fail to get any new updates and informations on all of these upcoming games every single day. So if you guys did enjoy the content and the piece of information, then leaving a like on this video would be really appreciated and would also help support the channel a ton as well. So feel free to show your support towards the content I make every single day. With that being said, I hope you guys have a blast of a day and I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. And also I want to wish you and all of your family a very happy Christmas in advance. And with that being said, take care fams and goodbye.